Yeah. Yes, yes, our lives. They are fun. I agree. Outside of the opening match, I felt like it was plotting. The inner circle drama was almost a little too much. Uh, and then the c- the the match at the end was a good match for what it was, but I wasn't expecting a lumberjack match. And like that inner circle stuff, the only good part about that came out that we're eventually going to get the Sammy Guevara face turn. But I don't know that I've ever seen Sammy as a face, so I don't know how well that's gonna work. Yeah, I mean, well, not only that, but they spent the first, what, 3 minutes of it with, just nostalgia. "Oh, Tony, do it one time, Tony, do it." And it was just I yeah, okay, it was kind of a feel-good moment last week when it happened, but this week it got to be a little overboard, and then his his interview itself was awkward because it looked like he was talking about how he was there for Darby, but then at the end he's there for Cody. It didn't make any sense. Right, exactly. Exactly. I will say that the snow machine is kind of a cool effect. The snow machine that they use for him, but it doesn't make sense. I don't understand why they're using a snow machine for him. I've never in what 30 years um, thought of Sting and associated snow. Yeah, but other than that, I mean, I've never in 30 years thought of Sting, snow. But it is still kind of a cool effect regardless. Arlo? So, yeah, so, okay, the winter is coming, that's it's just it was silly, and then, like, the cat is destroying I don't know why I even put up a Christmas tree, I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, and this year it seems like it's worse. Like, she's not even afraid of us when we take out the water bottle to squirt her. She just looks at like, "Alright, well, hit me up." Yeah, I did. She Okay, Arlo. Yeah, no, none of that stuff ever does. Like we had, when my oldest was a baby, like 2, 3 years old, he was never a pacifier kid, but man, did he love sucking on his fingers. And we bought this. You were supposed to put it on his fingernails, and it was supposed to taste so bad that it would break them of sucking their fingers. The little shit just went and washed it off. He knew how to turn on the faucet, so he just went in, turned on the faucet, rinsed his hands off, and went right back to it. So anyway, and I was really looking forward to an ultimatum, but much like the Bucks when they said, if we don't win, we'll never challenge again. Okay, you just told us the outcome of the match because there's no way both you and Cody are never going to be able to challenge again. And it was a kind of the same thing where with Jericho last week screaming, if we don't start get on the same page and start working together, we're disbanding the inner circle. Come on. It's the only really good faction in AEW. Do you really think you're going to disband it? Um, and that was also another weird little match. Like, where was Pac? Why was Pac not here? And I mean that whole tag team was just awkward. It's like, okay, is Lance Archer a good guy now? Um, yeah, I mean, what's happening here? You know, it just it was out of character. Everything about it is just like that segment was awful. The Abaddon thing, I don't know. I cannot get into Abaddon's character. Maybe because we saw it done better by Su Young and Asuka. Yeah. No, I. Hmm. Yep. Well, okay, Arlo. Well, and they're back. It's WWE American booking. Why can't we have a fun-loving big guy? You know, I mean, they did it occasionally with the Big Show, but then that would last 3 weeks before they turned him heel again. But I can't remember the last time there was a true fun-loving big guy like like Impact has with Fallah Bahh. So yeah, then pick him up, put him back in there. Yeah, it was a little rough. And then, like I said, that final match was good for what it was. It wasn't a great match, but it was good for what it was. But the fact that it turned into a lumberjack match, and there was too much drama and crap happening. Yeah, right. Well, yeah, and I mean he had a pretty decent match against Moxley. His matches against Cody were good. Um, and it's not like I mean, you could say, "Oh, well, he has chemistry with this one person," like people said about John Cena for years. Oh, it's not John Cena who's good; it's his, um, you know, his opponent that's carrying him. It's like, well, okay, that could have been fine, except for the fact that he had all these 5-star matches against different opponents, and you can't have that kind of chemistry with that many different opponents unless you're really damn good yourself. And I mean, the matches that MJF has it's against different opponents all the time, but it's always a good match. But that's an inner circle trope too. It's a lot of it is with the inner circle has always been the shenanigans. But you're right. I mean, he had it with Wardlow there forever too, where Wardlow always interfered, gave him the ring and all that stuff. Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, it was nice because he was going with the Eddie Guerrero thing that Eddie made famous with the chair shots and all that stuff, and Orange Cassidy just turned it on him. And seeing that kind of double switch type thing with that spot was great. Hmm. Well, I mean, Miro is that monster badass, like every big guy in fucking American wrestling. Well, I mean, it is a thunderous clothesline. That's like a JBL type clothesline from hell. I did, and El Phantasmo is still just great. He won. Oh, what you're talking World Tag League? Sorry, I was thinking Best of Super Juniors, Super J Cup. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Oh, oops. No, I watched the Super J Cup. No, I watched when I got up this morning. That was the first thing I did was watch the final match. Well, I mean, because I didn't get up till 9 o'clock. I got up at 9 o'clock, watched the match, and then yeah, I know. Oh, my bad. Oh, yeah. Well, I guess you'll just have to find out. Right. Um, yeah, and you ended up watching Impact, right? Yeah, I didn't either. I watched the clips. Um, right. There were a couple things that I liked about it, but I was disappointed that like I wanted Dynamite to start the show with highlights from Impact. Like Impact started the show with highlights of Kenny winning. So, I thought that was a cool thing that Impact did, and I really wish that AEW had shown them the same gratitude, I guess, favor, whatever. Uh, which well, I know, but still, at the same time, it would have been nice if they want to make this a legitimate deal, doing that crossover thing, and just, I mean, would it have killed them to show a few snippets of his appearance on Impact? Keep trying. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Um, a couple Rich Swan, right? Yeah, and I mean, I thought it was there. I thought it was kind of a weird call to have an announcer look like a VIP when the world champ was just a schlep that couldn't leave the building. I don't know if you saw that, but Rich Swan was trying to leave the building because he was done, and they said he wasn't allowed in the parking lot because it's for VIP only. And then uh, Matt, or what the hell is the guy's name? Their lead announcer, Josh Matthews, walks right in like he's a big deal. Right. I felt like it was a weird thing to make your own champion look like he doesn't matter. It yeah, it was funny, but at the same time, unless it's gonna lead to Rich Swann looking strong at some point, you just buried your own title. You know, on the night that you were probably gonna get the most amount of viewers you've ever had. I just That's a good point. But they buried it even more by making him he's not even an acknowledgement to AEW is basically what they said. But and the other thing about Impact that I did really like was the retro NWO style commercial that Tony Khan and Tony Schiavone did. It was great, and him saying, "I could just buy you. I have enough money. I could just buy you." I thought was kind of fun too. It reminded me. Yeah, yeah, it was. I thought that was kind of a cool little segment too. I did enjoy that. As far as the matches on Impact, there wasn't one that I really watched. I, I I had no desire to, none. Yeah, I watched that too, and that was. I like the fact that Sammy is like I'm the draw, not Kenny. Basically, is what he was saying. I felt like that was fun, and then to have Eddie Edwards come back and maybe reignite their little blood feud is a nice change of pace too. Right. Well, I mean, their roster is so limited that they had to have Donna in there. Donna Perosi or whatever. They, yeah, she's their world champ, and they had her go bowing out in like the second round of a tag title tournament. Arlo, you're gonna dump him. Yeah, and it doesn't help that all of their talent keeps leaving, but do you blame their talent for leaving? Um, when did Trevor Lee leave? Was it more than 6 months ago? No, he's Cameron Grimes. Was it? Okay. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, but I mean, and you're right. I mean, we broke it down not that long ago where how many of their champions are no longer even there? Like their last 15 champions, there's only three that are still with the company. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And now, I mean, I guess, right. Yeah, that's true. But and I don't know what the problem is. I mean, when they first debuted on Access, we were actually getting into the storylines. You could really see Don Callis in there, and I felt like they relied a little too much on the ECW guys. But at the same time, they had some really good storylines going and some really good things. And then all of a sudden, Eric Young comes in as a badass when anyone who watched TNA before Eric Young left knew he was a comedy character. Yeah. Yeah, and they pulled the trigger on Tessa way too quick, obviously, by the fact that they fired her 6 months into her title run, because she was refusing to do promos and stuff like that. Well, I mean, they fired him because he got into a actual altercation with Sammy. But yeah, I'm sure the speaking out movement had something to do with it too. Made their decision a little bit easier when he got into a fight with Sammy in the back. No, it was like he and Sammy were arguing about the finish of a match in the back, and they got into a fight, and 2 days later he was gone. And that was, I mean, that was after the speaking out movement, but it was the reason that he got fired was because of his fight with Sammy, which is the same reason he's no longer in NJPW, the same reason he was ousted from Ring of Honor. Right, exactly. And it was consensual. It was, I mean, there was a lot of things, but I mean, we felt that about a lot of the people that got fired and blackballed, like David Starr. I mean, the stuff that David Starr did, it was when I was reading the comment or the lady's description, it didn't sound as awful as everyone made it. You know, and there were a couple other people like that too, where, you know, I mean, granted, I get it. You know, it's some of the stuff that happened was really awful, but some of the other stuff was just like, really? Come on. He broke up with you, or you broke up with him. He did what any man that's ever been in love with a woman does and tried to get you back. You know, and there was a lot of that. There was a lot of that stuff that happened, and I get it. I don't want to say don't, if it hurts you, then I get it. But I felt like people got so PC about it that it ruined a lot of stuff. Exactly. Yeah. Yep. I Lots of COVID going on there, huh? Hmm. Right. Right. Yeah, why doesn't he just get the shot? Um, and is he Dragon Lee or Rio Lee? Okay. How is he able to pull that off? Because I thought AAA, or not AAA, CMLL took his name. Is it only because in NJPW because they have that working relationship, or is it? I thought Ring of Honor had a working relationship with them too. Okay. But Bandito's out too, right? Oh, wow. Put it on the floor. Good job. No, no, no. Over there. Sorry. Sure. Yeah. I Yeah. The 10th, you mean 2 days ago? Okay. I was You threw me off. I'm like, "Wait a minute. I know today's past the 12th." Um, the, what was I saying? I was thinking yeah, and it's funny how, Ring of Honor went away for 3 months. Well, actually, geez, they were gone longer than that, weren't they? Almost 6 months? Yeah, so, I mean, it's interesting to see how certain companies were able to pull it off and still kinda thrive through this. Really makes me wonder who the hell's booking Ring of Honor because we know Marty's out and Bully Ray is gone, but whoever's Yeah, I mean, and I've enjoyed I totally lost my train of thought. I've got a cat attacking a tree, a child, attacking a cat, and beads just went flying everywhere. It's a disaster over here right now. But anyway, yep, I've loved what I've seen from that, and I like Mike Bennett being back, and I don't know why I like it so much. Maybe because the last time he was actually really, really good was in Ring of Honor. No, it's not. It's but I never really bought into this Matt Taven face turn either. I felt like, I know Vinny is a natural heel and so much better at, but I felt like it was too early to change Taven. So maybe, I know they're not going to be able to change against Vinny, but hopefully afterwards, both Bennett and Taven go back to being heel characters. No, no, no. These two have been best friends for Jesus, what, a decade? I mean, I get it, wrestling storylines and all that, but I just don't see that happening right now. It's different because they haven't built up a partnership long enough. I mean, I, I get it, there's history, but that history is what, 6 years old? So, and you know how American wrestling is, they don't expect us to remember anything. So I can't see Bennett turning heel on Taven yet. I think if that is going to happen at some point, it'll happen. Um, but they need to build a story first, a story of together, because it's just like, or even Ring of Honor traditional fans that we know the relationship between Taven and Bennett, but the casual fans have no clue. So even though there's no one in the audience, no live audiences and everything, I feel like a heel turn by Bennett on Taven right now would be wasted after he's only been there a month. They haven't really built up for the casual fans. They haven't built up the actual emotions that a heel turn would make you go, that son of a bitch. It'd be like, oh, okay, well, he's a bad guy now. Is Flip still the mercenary? I mean, with Marty gone, is Villain Enterprises still a thing? Hmm. And I suppose a lot of that's because Marty's not there. You don't want to shine a light on your biggest star not being with the company. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. Uh, right. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll have to find out. Wait, the foundation? I know we talked about, but Rhett Titus, I didn't know he was part of that. Right. Arlo, wow, it's just, I mean, Red Titus hasn't really been anything since Scum. So, it's kind of nice to see him get some kind of spotlight as long as he's not the Lex Luger character. No, take those out of there. Um, well, that's what he's been, for the last, and flexing and all that stuff. Um, oh yeah, he was, especially when he was part of ANX. I thought he was amazing. Oh, his. I just remember we were reviewing those Ring of Honor shows, and that feud that he had, that ANX had against the Briscoes, was flat out amazing. Arlo, can you spray her so she stops? This cat is relentless with this tree. Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a good one. Um, Now I'd heard that this AEW versus Impact was kind of a one-off thing. I'm hoping it's not because there's so many matchups. I mean, as far as Impact goes, their storylines might be dog shit right now, but they do have some talent on there that I want to see mix it up with the AEW guys. Sammy and Eddie and the Good Brothers. I mean, I guess I haven't seen the Good Brothers on Impact, but if they can well, so is the only person that has recently come into WWE that hasn't been terrible is AJ. And to be honest, Vince hates tag teams anyway. Arlo, serious. Hmm. Oh, really? For the world title. That could be fun. Another good match. I mean, Roman Reigns is another one that just got kind of the short shaft because he's really good. I get a little bit bored of his multiple Superman punches throughout a match, but he actually is fairly decent, a fairly decent wrestler. But he got pushed when everybody wanted Daniel Bryan. Well, yeah, because it was just big man kick punch. Yeah, yeah, and we all know what Kevin Owens can do. So that'll be interesting to see. I know I did catch a couple of different promos that Kevin cut. Um, I can't. We got to cook these, okay? Okay, so put them back in the fridge. We'll cook them later. Oh, that'd be interesting. Right, and then Gargano and Damian Priest, I'm sure, crashed it. That's funny. Yeah, yeah, that's actually funny. And well, and Kevin just that's just Kevin. So I guess I don't know too much about the Hurt business to know is Shelton still good. I because isn't MVP a part of that too? And is he any good? This cat is uh, unreal. Just absolutely unreal. She is relentless after this tree. Maybe I need to buy her a toy or a dog. It's good point. Yeah, that's actually a better point. Where were you 2 years ago? Yeah, but eh, the boy wanted one, so yeah. All right. Anyway, so I don't know. I mean, I would love to see certain matches. Well, the North against anybody from AEW. And Sammy and I would love to see what Sammy and Jericho could do together, or Sammy and Moxley, or Sammy and Jesus, anybody on that roster. I would love to see how they work together. I personally think the Good Brothers can still put on good matches. I'd love to see them in a match with the Bucks. Former former partners in the Bullet Club. I would love to see how well they work together. I think there's a natural story there. And then of course, getting Kenny and Good Brothers together would be fun, especially now that Kenny's back to his cleaner persona and everything. Arlo, can you please, cat? I think there's a natural storyline there. I think it would be fun to listen to, and fun to see happen on the screen, and I think they could put on phenomenal matches together. Maybe even like a six-man tag with Kenny and the Bucks against, well, no, Kenny and the Good Brothers against Cody and the Bucks would be fun. There's a lot of stuff that I think would be really fun to watch and really fun to see. Um, and then, like I said, Eddie Edwards too is another one. I know he's got this blood feud with Sammy that's probably never going to go away. I mean, how can you? Because he tried to end your career by breaking your eye. But I still think Eddie. I would love to see Eddie against a lot of the people on the AEW roster. I think this could be good for both companies. Um, I just don't know. With them saying it was a one-off, I don't know if we're ever going to see anything. Um, so yeah, there's that. There's that. And then of course, we got Kenny being Kenny again. I personally I love this cleaner persona. Not sure how I feel about it being him with Don Callis. I know they're real life best friend, or they're real life friends, and they've known each other forever, and they were trained by the same people, and I know there's this relationship there. I just don't know that Kenny really needs Don Callis um, as much as they're making it out to be right now. So yeah, there's that. There's that. And I don't know what happened to Shane, so I'm gonna throw the plugs out here. Um, uh, Make sure you listen, check out our Patreons, patreon.com/Kingdom of Honor. Falling a little behind on updating. I should hopefully have a couple of things up there today. Maybe, I guess we'll see. But there will be something soon. But check that out. It's kingdomofhonor.com. There is a ton of stuff up there. We have our entire archives, every show that we've done all the way back to 2014 is up there. We also have an exclusive section where all of our YouTube exclusives and all of our Patreon exclusives, where we break down careers. We've done Benoit, we've done um, RVD, Dusty Rhodes, Harley Race. We've done a lot of different people that we've taken an hour. We call it our Desert Island series. We took an hour and broke down our 4 favorite matches from each of those wrestlers. We also, have done some other things, including exclusive breakdowns of the ECW shows. We started doing that in I think it was all the way back to '95 was when we started reviewing those and went through a bunch of those. We've gone through a bunch of the Ring of Honor from 2000. 2011 on, with the whole Kevin Steen and the start of Scum and things like that. So there's a lot of great content up there, including some Marvel shows that we've done, some pop culture shows that we've done, where just randomly we'll break down a TV show or a series or something like that, and throw that up there as well. So there's a lot of great content up there. A small donation gets you access to all of it and makes us very happy. We do have quite a few subscribers now, and we appreciate every single one of them. Also, our YouTube, if you're listening on it, please hit the like button, subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and we definitely appreciate that. And of course, our Twitter. I'm at Regi Co-op. I post a lot. He's at Zanman LOP. He does not post a lot. And you can use the hashtag KOH. I put that in everything, so that's the easiest and best way to find us. And it sounds like I'm still filibustering because I don't hear Shane back yet. So his dog must really need a potty break, it sounds like. But I don't know. I think AEW this week was a letdown. I like what's going on in Ring of Honor. Impact was not impressive at all. It did get its viewership, which is great, but the fact that they were kind of a letdown across the board with some of their storylines is rough. Dynamite, like we both said, was way too much talking. Reminded me a lot of Attitude Era TV, especially WWE TV, where it really relied on the storyline developed through words and not so much on the matches. Granted, we did get longer than 3-minute matches like they had in WWE during that time, but when you're looking at a 2-hour broadcast, you want to see more than a half an hour worth of matches. And I felt like we didn't get much more than that. So that was kind of a letdown. But otherwise, I don't know what else to talk about. Call of Duty, Black Ops, Cold War is great. Love the campaign, love the multiplayer, love the zombies. I think that's phenomenal as far as the wrestling world goes. I think we pretty much covered everything. Oh, sounds like Shane can't hear me. Is your microphone get unplugged? Yeah, I don't know. Shane must have muted somehow because I don't hear any background anything. And I can't hear him at all, but he's telling me that he's got his headphones on and is talking. So I'm not sure what's going on with his headphones. I don't know, Shane, is it double muted somehow? Or does it need to be unplugged and replugged in? Sounds like we lost Shane. So I guess I'm going to have to give it a go. If a steel line from my partner, who unfortunately can't say it himself, wishing you long days and pleasant nights, and I'm just going to say goodbye. Oh, I can hear you now. What was that all about? That's weird. Right. Right, and this is the kind of stuff we should have saw during their, G1 match. Huh. Wait, Shingo's the never champ again? Oh, good. I think I remember that because I remember saying that he never should have lost it to to Minoru in the first place. It made him look kind of like a chump, but the fact that he was able to win it back from Minoru, I guess, kind of makes good. So, but yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to finally see it. I mean, he's always been kind of emotionless, and that's one of those things I've kind of felt has been missing from Sonata. Um, Otherwise, he was a 4.5 tool player. He just never he had that natural charisma, connected with the audience, but never showed any kind of fire. So to see him show that kind of fire, I might go watch that just to see that. Yeah, just seeing that out of Sonata is worth it. So yeah, and it's not like they pull their punches in Japan either. They it's when they're doing a Luthez press and just pounding away at the face like Austin did. It was pulled punches. In Japan, they like to hit each other. Good, good. I'm actually glad about that. So, all right. Well, like I said, I didn't have anything else. I kind of went on my whole little impact and some of the matches I'd like to see, and and really hoping that this AEW thing is not a one-off. That they actually have some kind of programs. Like I'd like to see Good Brothers versus Bucks, little Bullet Club reunion. Oh, they absolutely would. They absolutely would. But right. Yeah, that'd be fun. Abaddon. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it was there's a few matchups I like. I think it's more the fact that I think AEW has too much talent that's going to waste because of uh, the fact that they have so much talent that it'd be nice to see some of that talent maybe appear on Impact and get time to shine. No, yeah. Well, I mean, that was the NWO commercial where they were really pushing home that NWO type storyline where they're just gonna buy Impact and take over Impact, um, which I thought was cool, but that would never happen. I mean, unless he's gonna buy Impact and then why would he do that when he has access to TNT? Why would he buy Impact? Because they're under. I mean, well, Jesus, doesn't Impact or the parent company Anthem own Access? Didn't they literally buy Access just to get their program on a national network? So I don't know. I can't see them after spending that kind of money to sell it to Tony Khan anyway. Right. FTR. Yeah, I mean any of those. I mean any of those tag team matchups with the North against anybody on the AEW roster would be fun. Um, and I think Sammy against pretty much anybody would be great too, especially if Sammy's allowed to be Sammy on TNT. No, yeah, yeah, he would. He definitely would. But all right, I got nothing more. I got a child that wants food, so I don't know. I don't know what else you got, but goodbye.